Hello, storyteller, storytelling Ron. So another ranty, depressing video. But Britain's and the Islamic thing and what's going on over there. I really love Britain because I go there with my wife and just so it's sort of like man, bummer. Anyway, let's just get to it. Britain burning. Muslim mobs roam the streets with knives and machetes unchecked by police as Labour government prepares to crack down on far-right thugs. So there, a horrible incident happened in Southport where basically terrorism, where a young man who's I guess he's Muslim, he's Rwandan, part of that immigrant culture though. I believe he was raised here, but his parents were the immigrants, but or raised in Britain rather. But he with a knife went into a girls' dance group. They were doing a Taylor Swift day, sort of day camp, and he killed 3 young girls, 6, 7, 8 years old, and cut 10 more. And then the dancer, and then some other people came and stopped him, but it was a horrible incident. And I think the people of England just have had enough of this, or at least the right, or moderate, or conservative, because there's so many Muslim and illegal immigrant camps and facilities spread across England, and they're being funded by the government, by their taxes. They're being housed by their taxes, and I believe it's about half of Muslims have social welfare, in the sense of their places the rent is being paid for by the government. They're being paid money. Why is that? So it's a policy of the Labour and of the government and the deep state to bring in tons of Muslims. Why is that? Well, the answer is because they're pagan. And the answer to all of this is get back to church. The reason there's a ton of Muslims in England and across Europe is because Europe has left God. And so God said, okay, I'm going to turn away. And so Islam and paganism, the unholy trinity, or the unholy alliance, is forming. Pagans, atheists, and Islam. There we go. Unholy trinity. They're forming, and they're taking the culture over. Let me move this to, well, whatever. I'm just going to play it. So these guys are armed. I'll show you another video where they're armed, and the police, they're really compliant with Islam and the Muslim side of it, Muslim side of it, and I'll show you. By the way, this Andy No, I really, he's a gay guy, but I really like him. I like his reporting, his bravery, and and I obviously I want to do a video on how homosexuality is a sin, but I still sort of respect several gay men that are doing these things. Anyway, there's a lot to unpack here, but there's a lot going on, but it's very simple. Like I said, when you leave God, the church is in decline across England and across Europe dramatically, especially like in Germany, it's really bad. And thusly, ergo, who's going to stop this? And why would they want to stop it? Why do they care to stop it? Why do the Labour, the Democrats, the pagans, the atheists, why would they want Islam in there? Because it's their unholy alliance, and they don't, whether they know it or not, And there's that famous drawing. Oh, I'm going to get this drawing. Hold on a sec. Or art piece. Hold on. Yeah. So there's this. This is artwork. I think I might have seen this artwork actually at the L.A. Museum or Modern MoCA, whatever. Anyway, Sharia law, gays who welcome Middle Eastern refugees into Europe. Well, the gays, but it's the left, it's the pagans. They want to water this tree, and of course, it's going to end up hanging them. So, and this is a great example, and that's true for evil. Evil will continually choose evil, even as they know it's going to bring in a tyranny, a dictatorship, and will come around to them as well and take them out. They will gladly, because there's no Jesus there. As long as there's no Jesus there, they will choose child sacrifice, abortion, over actually dealing with the problems here in America and across Europe, because the people that will deal with these problems are of Jesus. and they don't want that. Britain is burning, and here's the scary thing too: is that they're bringing in all these middle-aged Middle Eastern men, young men rather, soldier age, and they're all concentrated into groups of 50, 100, whatever, wherever they are. So imagine that kind of power you have in any community against the police force, against the local judges and mayors. If you have 50 guys all of the same sync, all going to the same mosque, hearing the same orders, they can control the area. Underground, black market, whatever. That's what's happening across Europe. They're beginning to control areas. And look at this. So they all going to church. They all going to their mosque. What are the English doing? I mean, the whites or whatever, the European, the traditional English. Are they doing this? Because Islam is doing this. They're forming their armies and they're taking over England, even though they can't. I don't know. Apparently, the Middle East is ruined and they all want to come here, but no, they want to conquer this area. And of course, this guy Tommy Robinson is sort of a, I don't know, scapegoat or whatever, or something of a leader. I follow him and listen to what he's saying. Not a lot, not like a ton, but I treat him like a journalist, and he's done revealed some horrifying stuff that's going on over there. The gang rapes that are being protected. There's one town where 1,500 girls and women were gang raped, like in a circuit of this black, this underworld, and he revealed it, and he's being arrested for revealing that or being persecuted for that. So people are losing their freedom, everything. So this guy here on the Stark Naked Brief, he tried to sort of document what's going on. This is an Englishman getting beat up as Muslims are roving around attacking, I guess, the protesters. Look at that massive group. This guy got beat up by them, or whoever. Here they are with weapons in mass roving around. This policeman is actually telling them, "Hey, let's put your weapons away. Put them hide them in the mosques, and don't do so you guys don't get arrested." This policeman's telling him that, and I guess he's a Muslim policeman too. Here are Englishmen protesting. Now, the sad thing about this is you can be a peaceful protester, and all you need are some planted agitators to get violence started. Emotions can run real high, really fast, and that's the problem with these public protests, especially for the right, is that they will be manipulated by the left. Remember, the left has no problem lying, so they have no problem bringing in agitators to lie and deceive and create problems and violence from this group to then bring in tyranny. And that's what they do. They will instigate the violence and like in January 6th, what I believe, instigate the violence to then counter it with their police force and their tyranny and their dictatorship stuff. So the problem with this is you have to have it organized better. And the only way you can do this is through a church. I mean, look what the Muslims do. They're all there praying at their mosques. They're taking their orders from the imams in England. And the mosques are exploding there while the churches are declining. And the church pastors are weak too. I will admit that too. The priests and pastors are weak. But the reason they're weak is because they don't have a flock. They don't have a strong flock that is pushing them to be stronger and helping them. A pastor at a church is not a dictator. So a pastor can do things, but they can only do things based on having elders and deacons and people that actually support them in doing this. And then, of course, it'll be much more organized and much more concentrated about what they do and the power that they'll have in the community. And that's the problem here, that these people are not, I would guess that the vast majority of these are not going to church. They're frustrated. They see what's happening. They see that the government is a church. The government is a church. It's the church of paganism, and it is pushing paganism and Islam and atheism onto the community, throwing in these young men as a militia to control and dominate this Western Christian, ethically Christian culture. This Christian culture believes that men and women are equal and that women have a right to their own bodies, to who they marry. The Muslim culture doesn't believe that at all. Muslims believe that women are chattel, that they can have 4 wives, they can use them to breed, they can, they don't have to educate them, the man controls them. That's Islam. That's the Quran says that. You can see that across the Muslim world. And so thusly they can do gang rapes and they can control the people in any way that they want. And they're doing it. And there's this clash now, and Tommy Robinson is exposing that. But the Labor Party, the deep state, the pagans, all believe in this. And I'll show you how they all believe in this. So let's go to this video. This is more and more, this just getting worse and worse. But again, where's the church group? You need a church group. You need a pastor, elders, and deacons organizing these protests. And they're not just going to be peaceful protests. They're going to be direct. The church members, if they are organized with a pastor and elders and deacons, are going to have peaceful protests, not this, and they're going to directly meet with the leaders at some point. If there's a show of force of a peaceful protesting church, this is not a church. All these white people, Christian people, whoever they are, that's not a church. That's dangerous. They're feeding into the manipulation by the Labor Party and by the pagans by doing this. You have to be part of a church. It's the church that will confront the pagan leaders. It's the church that will confront Islam. Not a bunch of people on the street like this all getting angry, from the pub or whatever. You guys are wasting your time. Get back to church. Get back to church. Get your pastor, form your elders, discuss, work it out, support your pastor, help him. He's not God, he's not Jesus, he's just a man. But this is just going to give them more power. You're giving the Labor Party and the deep state more power by doing this. You have to do it through a church. I mean, what do you think the Muslims are doing? They're all part of a mosque. This is a lone pastor somewhere. I don't know, exactly where it is, but and these are Antifa, and they're all pushing and attacking the pastor, and the pastor is just backing off, and he's alone, or whoever this is, a Christian evangelist, and and they're all attacking him. They all want abortion, child sacrifice, and this is the world we're living in because the church is weak. Look, these children here are fools for the sacrifice, and this is what they want. This is what they want. They want to water the tree of doom, the evil tree, and be hung by it. So let's check out this. Gateway, Not the Bee, and Breitbart. There's a revolution brewing in Britain. Tommy Robinson doxxed by Daily Mail. Daily Mail as asylum hotels set on fire and Muslim Defense League chases Englishmen with 2x4s. So there's a bunch of asylum hotels. These are all tax funded, all government policy, controlled by the government, paid by the government. Same with here in the U.S. How Biden can fly illegal immigrants across America and plant them in specific cities is amazing. I mean, where does the money come from? Because the Congress is supposed to be controlling that, and yet somehow millions to billions are being spent on flights for illegal immigrants into our country. The reason they're doing this is because they want this. They want anything that is not Christ. They want to take over. It's in their hearts. Why not? They're pagans. What I want to get to here is, where is it? It's so there's just more and more videos now of all this stuff happening, but I want to show you. Okay, he's the enemy of the people, but where did I put it? Okay, this one here. Let's play this. I'm gonna do it so you guys can hear it better. Well, you don't need to hear it because it's.
I have no doubt I was shocked those that have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law. President Trump, the police will be making arrests.
Okay, so here he is talking about the George Floyd BLM rights and how peaceful protests are good. Trump is terrible. It's an affront to humanity. He's supporting the protests that are happening in the U.S. and across in the UK, across the world. And this is when he had no power, right? He was not the prime minister at this time. Here, he's a prime minister, and he wants to destroy, persecute and imprison the white people, the Christians, or the Christian ethically Christian people. He wants to go after them and shut them down and destroy them. Remand charges will follow. He's not talking about the Muslims carrying the weapons around like they show in the videos. Convictions will follow. He wants to jail these people because they're frustrated. Those 3 girls died. There's a constant repeat of terrorism. Sorry, Islam is the religion of peace. Terrorism. Sorry, Islam is a religion of peace. Terrorism. Sorry, we're really sorry. It's not Islam. Terrorism. They do it over and over, rinse and repeat. And I'll explain that here. I'll just do it right now. Islam believes in taqiyya, or Islam believes in terror and taqiyya. Taqiyya is lying and cheating in the Arab world is not really a moral matter, but a method of safeguarding honor and status, avoiding shame, and at all times exploiting possibilities for those with the wits for it, deftly and expeditiously to convert shame into honor on their own account, and vice versa for their opponents. If honor so demands, lies and cheating may become absolute imperatives. This is a guy who studies Islam. The word taqiyya literally means concealing, precaution, guarding. So in Islam, you can do taqiyya. You can lie about terrorism, lie about your what's going on in your mosque, lie about what you're doing. That is the truth to Islam, to a Muslim. So when a Muslim lies about their faith, lies to you, lies about everything, as long as it's to further Islam, they can do it. So they can do rape gangs and then lie about it and then accuse you and then lie about it because that's the truth. That's their moral truth. They're following their religion. And so that is the truth to them. And they can attack you. And actually, Democrats do the exact same thing. They have taqiyya as well. Lying is totally morally good for Islam, or for when you're a Muslim. So they can do that. So now this guy is going to shut down the right-wingers. He's going to go after them. He's not going to shut down the illegal immigrants, the asylum hotels that are being funded by their taxes. He's not going to shut down all the money that goes into mosques. He's going to do an emergency security mosque, protective security for mosques. Even though, it is the churches that are getting vandalized and attacked in England, they're going to do security for them. Why? Because they're not Jesus. That's why. Of course that's going to happen. Of course the Democrats, the Labor Party, are going to support Islam and paganism and atheism. And so the solution, this is a religious war. It's a war of the spirit, is church. You got to get back to church. If you want, no, we're not going to achieve heaven here on earth until Jesus comes. But in the meantime, the church is what you have to do. You have to support the church. You have to find a church, find a pastor who opens up the Bible and teaches directly from the Bible. Find that kind. That's how you do it. And if you're going to protest, you need to protest with the church. It needs to be organized. So if you're all frustrated or angry, this is why. I don't think the Church of England is the right one. I don't know. I'm not sure the Catholic Church there is strong. I'm not really sure. But the Church of England, I think, is a progressive, and you don't want not a progressive church, right? Not okay. Very simple. If they support LGBTQ, they are pagan. If they support the Labour Party, they are pagan. So don't go to those churches. I don't even know about the Tories. The Tories seem to be kind of deep state as well, which is very sad. So I'm assuming Nigel Farage and the UKIP or whatever are closer to what, conservative and Christian and real, really there. But, obviously I'm extreme right wing, going to be hated. And if the church or whatever is not a part of the entire apparatus there with the deep state, then hey, it's probably a good chance they're going to be a good church. So you gotta look around. You got to hunt around, find the right church. Shop around, investigate, because the churches are corrupted for sure. And thusly, that's why you see what you see going on. That's why you see what you see going on. That they're going to have terror after terror, taqiyya, to defend it and lie about it and then start it up again over and over. It's never going to end. The terror that's going to happen, the murdering, the rape gangs are not going to end, because that's part of Islam. You have to get back to the church and rebuild the church because it's very weak, and make men of virtue who will be organized and confront this evil. Okay. In the game of life, you got to roll holy dice.